And we are fighting in Atlantis. How about this crazy venue? And next to me for the broadcast, the one and only Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be unbelievable. The fans, everybody around the world, the fighters. This is just...
It's the incomparable Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the pound-for-pound best in the world, fighting out of Nebraska, USA, one of the greatest of all time.
Look at this. These fighters are so up for it. Look at that.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner from Pensacola, Florida, here is a middleweight, a super middleweight, a light heavyweight, and a heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr. Fighting out of the blue corner from Omaha, Nebraska, here is an acclaimed 3-division champion of the world, Terrence Bud Crawford.
So much hype surrounding this big matchup. Can't wait to see what goes down when the opening bell rings.
So, all the talking's done. Now, let's get down to action.
Under the bright lights here for this one. Really good. After months of uncertainty, we finally have a fight. Nice stop, but that won't score. That one lands. That right hand scored perfectly. Beautiful counter shots. So much hype surrounding this big matchup as the hype continues to build for this showdown.
Situations like this, Todd, will either make or break a fighter because the expectation from the fans of the people here, of the millions of people around the world, people like you and I sat here expecting everything and anything can break a man or make a man.
What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Hook was off target. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Do you believe what we're seeing? And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. Counter shot lands. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, there's no doubt. And there's the bell to start round 2. That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Good counter punching. This fighter's completely content to sit back and let you make the first move. That's where they thrive.
You're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching you every move, that every twitch.
Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. That punch scores. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Defense is not an option for these two. Lucky that hook didn't score. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. They've got the momentum. They've got the advantage. And there's the bell to start round 3. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Punch caught him clean. That's another scoring shot. The straight right just misses. Can't find a home for that jab. Exchanges from both men in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nice counter shot. They've got to use their jab better in this fight. Punch landed. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Roy. And there's the bell to start round 4. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
Middleweight always gives us a class. If you've got 2 class middleweight fighters, you're in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, Mr. I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
Start respecting each other's punching power. Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even-steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. Catch and shoot. Couldn't land that jab. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
As long as they don't get...
Back into the fray here in round 5. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Nice counter. He threw a punch and just got countered. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Neither one of them want this to go to the judges' scorecard. Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. And he scores with the counter. Straight right just misses. The perfect counter lands. Nice counter punch right up the middle. And he misses with the left uppercut. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones. This is the beginning of round 6. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, Johnny, as you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fight. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Roy Jones Jr. in trouble. Didn't wait long to get back in and get engaged.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Beautiful counter punch. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. There's a counter shot. Big shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. Punch, counter punch. Just missed with that jab. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. And there's the bell for round 7. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
How How do they use this fighter's aggression against them?
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. It hurts, and you can imagine that being you. Look the size of an average man.
Swing and a miss with the hook. Can they figure out the combination to this save?
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
That's it.
Everything looks better in slow motion. Let's take another look.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me your break.
Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Round 8, and we're off again. Is this the beginning of the end after 2 knockdowns last round?
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'll be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
Oh, what a punch! Nice counter shot. Fantastic punch. And that left hook doesn't find its target. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you just start thinking. You've just got to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little favor and pickpocket them.
A straight right just misses. Those counter punches have to hurt. They are not going to let this one go to the judges. Good counter punch. The straight right just misses. Missing with the hook. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. No surprise there, a unanimous decision.
They've done it before, now they...
Let's get a streak going. Let's get the heat going. Let's get the feet going. Let's get the feet going.
Takes more than that to drag me down. So bring
They've been talking the talk. It's now time to walk the walk. This is the Lighthouse Theater. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me, Johnny Nelson.
I feel like a fraud. How have I got these?
Alexander Roy. What a pleasure it is to be here. And that's the opening bell, round one. That counter shot lands. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. So much firepower here. One punch could change everything in this battle. The crowd is dressed to impress here tonight, and the fighters promise to do the same as we cannot wait for this, our main event.
He's getting everything tonight. And you know what? When you're in a theater, you know you've got to perform. There's no cutting corners. There's no making up excuses because you're going to be so transparent all laid out there.
They exchange punches. Back and forth they go. Neither fighter willing to back down.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
And he scores with the counter. You couldn't write a script like this. This is like Rocky versus Apollo. Punch. They won't give us a second to catch our breath. He just misses with that jab. Perfect counter land. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Taking a big breath, and here we go again. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
There's a counter shot. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
If you're fighting a counterpuncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counterpunchers, they're watching you every move, every twitch.
That right hook's blocked. They figure out the combination to this sink.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
Beautiful counter punch. They're counter punching. They stop the hook there. Punch, counter punch. And forth they go. Well done with that counter shot. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Alexander. There's the bell to start round 3. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up, just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. He misses with that straight left. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Catch and shoot. Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Swing and a miss with that jab. He threw a punch and just got countered. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. And just as quickly as the action slows down, it heats back up. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that lap. There's the bell for round 4. Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Both men step back for just a moment. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Those counter punches have to hurt. This fighter's certainly not going to out-throw their opponent by any means, but they will, when they hit, be a lot harder.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
A perfect counter shot. The jab doesn't quite connect. His stamina is off the charts. No rest for the weary. Nice counter. Can you believe it? Roy Jones Jr. is on the back foot now. Pensacola's finest is down. Now that is a massive knockdown. Let's take another look.
That's lights out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. He's been knocked down, but at least not knocked out yet.
You're being put...
There's the bell to start round 5. He got knocked down in the last round. Let's see what he can do here.
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
In the build-up to this fight, Johnny, this power puncher told us, listen, I don't care if it's round 1 or round 12, I've got enough power and confidence to end this in one shot.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. And he fails to score with that left hook. Nice counter punch right up the middle. That counter punch caught him clean. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when they're in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Throws the jab but does not score. Good-looking hook, but it was blocked. Despite what the judges scored. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, lights out. It's over. This fight is done. And as we see it again, there's no way to get up when you get clipped. What happened? You saw.
Thank you.